Hello folks, this is a Saab 9.5 Aero. It's done well for a good few months since we solved the oil leak, but 6,000 miles later and we've managed to baldy the front tyres, which is great, and it's got a noisy wheel bearing, so I'm going to do them both in the front. I'm just busy cracking them at the moment. Right folks, seeing as the GoPro doesn't like to work with any less than about 50% battery, I've done one side, now I'm going to do the other, replacing the front wheel bearings in this. I think only one was noisy, but we'll just do them both anyway. They're the bolt-in type, which is the same as the Mark IV Astra. 3 bolts in it, E20 Torxes. So we're going to take the drive shaft nut off, bottom ball joint off, caliper off, and the 2 bolts here. We can leave the hub hanging on the track rod end, don't need to dismantle that, and the whole hub just hammers out. So first up, we shall remove, what will we remove first? Let's do this nut and the bottom ball joint, the caliper, and we'll do these 2 last. 16mm socket one side, E14 on the other. Le nut. That's French for the nut. I'm going to get a punch and hopefully knock this out. Although what I might do first is just spin it on the ratchet, so we get the shift. I bought a couple of tins of this Bulldog BDX stuff, which I'd already soaked it in. Supposed to be amazing, like better than anything else, even like better than D-Block apparently for removing things. I'm going to have to slacken this bolt a bit to get it off the corrosion, so it'll punch out. It's moving okay, hopefully that BDX stuff's working its way in. See if we can get it to move. That should punch out now. Dink. One. A removed bolt. The good thing is, didn't mangle the end of it taking it out, which is good. Right, he's out. Just going to chisel in the back of this just to gently persuade it. God dang it. Ooh, that looks rusty in there. Yeah. Right. sake. The bottom ball joint is being annoying. It will not come out because of pressure against it. So I'm going to move the caliper and the disc out the way for the time being. Caliper bolts out. Mob you up here and out, and spline the bit. Take the disc off. So all this will come apart because it's not been on for very long. Ho-ho! It doesn't detract from the fact I need to extract this bloody CV joint. Do not go back in there. It's free now anyway. Right, you can set that up. Drive shaft separated, that's like red rusty. Makes me think it has got hot. 3 bolts to remove from the back of the bearing. Three bolts, you get new ones in the kit. I just need to tap this out. Shutting. One wheel bearing assembly with the back plate still affixed to it. Not anymore! Right, need to clean it up now. Grinder and cut brush and clean this out inside. Quite a bit of pitting in that hub carrier, but only around one bit of it, the rest of it should be alright. Quality bearing. You get the entire hub in the kit, along with bolts and a new nut, which is nice. And a cap, which didn't fit on the other side. But we'll just give it a bit of grease round here. Right, so that will go there, and then this will go in here. You can turn it and take a bolt. Get it started. You just sit there for the moment. Right, I'm going to tighten them up. There we go. One wheel bearing installed. One of the top bolts back in. Right, that's the bolts. And for the top shocker, tighten them up now. Beautiful. And drive shaft back in. Drive shaft in, nut on. Right, using the GoPro while it's plugged in because it's below 50%, so it won't work. Got some 540 in it, which is a bit thicker, prevent it burning it as much. And yeah, put some manual motor doctor in it, which is like really thick gloopy stuff. Which helps with friction. It's probably like fucking slick 50 or something, eh? But yeah, dead gloopy stuff. There's still a little bit in it, let the pace it comes out. Yeah, gloopy stuff, so that'll do it good, I hope. And we've got the two new wheel bearings on it, so it should be alright. Go back on the road. It's got flickering headlights, so I need to look into that. I suspect it'll need new ballast resistors for the xenons. But other than that, I'm going to take it up the road. Leave the Omega here because it needs cam cover gaskets because it's leaking oil down into the spark plugs. I think water's getting in there as well, and it's misfiring a little bit, so we're going to do that. What on earth is going on here? If ever that is. It seemed to be about, no cars or anything. So the Saab randomly threw its alternator belt off. Took the end off it, like the outer rib. I'm not quite sure about, so I'll have to jack this up, then put the jack under the engine and fit the new one, and I don't know, just keep an eye on it. I think this pulley needs to move out a little bit, but it's not that easy to move it out with the way that it sits on that little washer thing there, so we'll just have to keep an eye on it, because that's wearing the Vectra GSI wheels, which are 215/40s rather than 225/45s, so they're a bit smaller on the tyres, but we've got two almost new Rain Sports on there and two almost new Toyo Proxies on the back, so loads of tread. So if we keep these on here for a bit, I'll have to rotate them every sort of couple of thousand miles to make sure that they wear evenly. Or I can just scrub the front ones, but don't really want to go and scrub a set of Rain Sports in 6,000 miles. Here's our belt, 2415. There's like 3 different sizes, it appears, for these. Hey Bob! Well, that's a belt on. I think this is, you get a couple of different sizes that'll fit it. I think it had a 2425 on it before. So that's nice and tight. Not overly tight though, so we'll see how it behaves when we fire it up. See how it's running. I think it runs slightly off the edge of that pulley. Which is maybe why it took the outside rib off the belt, I don't know. the belt's on, it seems to me that it's running slightly off the edge, very slightly off the edge of the water pump and the idler pulley, like the very edge of the belt, but you can't adjust it. Just have to see. Anyway, it's 23 degrees at the moment. Summer's turned up, at least for a bit, but I've got to drive down to the south of England for a wedding tomorrow, which is Friday, to come back up on the Saturday. I'm thinking I'll just take my cab, because I know that it'll push on and it's good in fuel, but so is the Saab. And the Saab has the advantage of having air conditioning. I think it's quite hot down there. And if I've got to leave at like 6, 7 o'clock at night to come up the road, it might be quite nice to be like chilled, I don't know. See how this goes. I was contemplating maybe selling this, because I do have too many cars. I've got that Vectra C to sort out, which I wouldn't be keeping. I've also got the Gold Astra Estate, and having one complicated turbocharged Swedish car is enough. And the Cadillac's only got 62,000 on it. If this had 62,000 miles on it, it would be a no-brainer between it and the Cadillac. This would have been the better car. But now this has done a lot more work. And it'd be a good car for somebody, but the thing is, with the age and the nature of it, you're never really away from it. There's always something needing done on it. So we'll see, but the usual thing, when I sort it out, it'll be running good again, so I'm like, I don't want to get rid of it, because it's running well. But I don't know, there's still a few Saabs out there, so if I wanted another Saab, a 4-cylinder turbo one, I could get one in the future. The Cadillac, harder to find, especially with that mileage on it. Right, that's the existing tensioner. You probably can't hear it, but it sounds noisier than this one. So again, this one's slightly bigger, slightly wider, like that other one I had, and I had to like try and trim it down. I was looking at another one and I was like, the only way this would go on is if I was to trim it down. Having said that, I don't think that one's going to catch this time. So that's it on in there. I just need to tighten it up. What you do is you take that engine mount off, and I've got an axle stand with some padding sitting under it on the sump, which pushes the engine up. And when you take the tension off, it pushes this pulley up high enough to easily get an Allen key into it, because otherwise this is sitting too far down and you can't get access to it easily. Right, that's him on. Let's fire the belt back on and see if it's quietened it down. Try it again. If you look down at that power steering belt though, it's running on the edge of the power steering pulley. It feels like it should be across a bit, but the rest of it's all lined up, so... Well, the ABS ring wasn't the right size. Vauxhall one's smaller, which I thought it might be. So I will go on to JRCV joints and hopefully they've got the correct ones in stock. There's still a noise coming off the belt. Not anymore, it is better now. I wonder if I need a new tensioner assembly on it. I wonder if it's that, because it looks like the tensioner's like vibrating a bit. I mean, everything else is brand new. That's the only component that's left on the whole thing. So no doubt it'll be needing that. Yeah, let's get the Astra out. And that'll do for this one. We will pick this up when I get some ABS rings on it. Hello, Bob. Hello. You sent it. Starting to rain again.